Hi everyone, just recently I was really honoured to do my client and friend's makeup for her very postponed wedding, 4 years, COVID, family illness, all sorts of things. 4 years, and they got married last week, which was really wonderful. And it was a beautiful cathedral wedding with a lovely marquee. I've posted a few of the pictures on Instagram, and I just wanted to show you a few of the key products that I used, just because lots of people have asked, and it was sponsored by Givenchy, so it was so lovely. She had 12 bridesmaids, I think. So they got a whole team in. Givenchy brought all their makeup artists in, and they all got a goodie bag. It was really, really special. Pixie works with them. So yes, this was a really nice collaboration. So I was able to choose a few of my favourite products. This isn't sponsored by Givenchy. I just want to share with you what I use, because I don't actually use that many Givenchy products, and I've become really delighted and excited to use them. So I just thought I would share the look with you. Just nails today. I don't actually wear pale nails, but this is a Tahitian Sunset by Max Factor, and it is their new vegan, it's not actually new, plant-based vegan, obviously, nail varnish. Pixie wore something similar. It was I was going to say laminated now. It was a gel tips, but it was similar to that. Anyway, so I just thought I'd kind of go with the whole vibe of the look. Right, now there was something, oh yes, I was going to wear this lovely white dress that I've had for years that I just get out when I can never wear it, because I'm quite a clumsy person, and I just thought I cannot do this dress. I've got to wear it for an event soon and do makeup in it, because it will literally be ruined. So I've gone back to the faithful Zara shirt, which has gone down a hit this summer. Right, okay, so Givenchy has two lovely foundations called Prisme Libre Skin Caring. One is glossy and one is matte. So what I did was, because I wanted Pixie to have the glow, she wanted the glow, but it's really, really hard to sustain the glowy skin on a wedding day, because, you know, there's only so much I can do, you know, in terms of touching her makeup up, because obviously she's enjoying the moment being with her guests, but you want to do that. But if you don't have anyone helping you, you want to have the glow, this is the kind of way around it. So rather than using lots of primer, which I primed her skin and I used my Urban Decay, etc., this is how I put the makeup on. Now, this is shade 4W310, sounding very robotic saying that. And this is the glow version, okay? So what I did for her, for Pixie, is to place this on her skin all the way around the outside. So where she wanted that glow, look how lovely it is. Goes on, it's really cooling. I mean, obviously with Givenchy you would expect nothing less, but it's such a beautiful foundation. So I'm really going to, already did apply this foundation just in these areas. And obviously if you're drier, you can probably get away with a little bit more. But I think this is a nice way of not just depending on a highlighter to give you that glow, but a way of giving you that perfected skin, because we want perfection. And a lot of the time, I don't do perfected skin. A lot of my looks are very real, because I am a realist. And let's face it, none of us go around with, well, some people do, perfected skin the whole time, because that takes a lot of time. Just be careful not to take that down too much, because I don't actually need it, because the colour works beautifully for me. But I don't want to get it on my white shirt. I'll clean up my mole in a moment. So for me, I just really like to use this base like this. And then you can almost see, can't you, where I'm going to put the lighter, matter version. And that kind of just gives me the texture that I want and the finish quite quickly. Going to use the same brush, nice to fuse them together. This colour is 1W105, there's quite a few. And again, you'll probably think, oh God, look, there she goes again, way too light. But you know, it blends in so well. I'm just going to use the big brush. I'll go in with some a smaller brush straight over the eye in a moment. But even though it's matte, it's quite sheer. Oh, sorry for that. So a nice big brush just allows it to go on really soft, not weighing too heavy on my skin, having an older skin, I have to be careful with the mattes, but I also want the coverage, and it's this area here, you know, that you can see, isn't it, what a lighter does, what a lighter skin, what a lighter colour does to hooded eyes. Oh, it's just awful, isn't it? That's why we like a darker eye on the socket. In around the nose. And just lightly over my top lip, because obviously I want that to be matter anyway. And then blend it out towards the cheekbones. So you really are face shaping just with a regular small foundation brush, nice and fluffy, not too firm, because you want to let the product sit on the skin. You want the product to really stay on the skin. Using a firm brush can actually remove too much of the product. So there we are, starting to blend in. Okay, and then I will take a firmer brush just over my eye to make sure that I don't have product build up there before I go in with a little bit more of concealer, just where I need it. And again, on my face, the concealer can be, like on the outside of my face, the concealer can be slightly lighter. Sorry, on the inside of my eyes, just here where I need the brightness, the concealer is slightly lighter, and then I can use a slightly darker one, but I actually just might use the foundation for that, just to push that in there, just to give me a little bit more brightness, but not too much under my eye. Aren't weddings just the loveliest of things? It's been a while since I went to a wedding, and oh my God, my heart was full, pumping, full of love and joy. I just think there is so much to be said for celebrating love and to outwardly talk about the people that we love. It's so important, and it's so rare, isn't it, really? You know, maybe once, well, hopefully it's only once, isn't it? But, you know, if it ends up being twice, you get to do it, or however many times you get to get married. It's just such a lovely thing. Thinking about having a love party, maybe, just to celebrate friendship, sisterhood, romance, you know, everything that kind of encapsulates love. I think that's definitely something that the pandemic has given us, is the joy of celebrating with others. See how lovely that looks? It is so delicate, but it's so glossy. This glossy foundation is amazing, and it feels really, really sheer. You can just see as I go back a little bit, you can still see that the warmth is in my skin, but that lovely lightness. So these two are great to work with, I have to say. Now, I always wait until the end to do any powder or anything. Obviously, that's kind of essential, but because we need quite a bit of powder just around the T-zone, always wait to the end. I did have a little bit of product in my brows from this morning. I had to do a little bit of a zoom this morning, still on there. I can tidy those up in a minute. Right, so with the blush, I actually chose Sacred from Hourglass, which is their Vanish sticks, because we wanted to create a really nice sort of feminine hue. And this was the colour that really resonated with me and Pix, because it just kind of gives that really sort of like soft feminine flush, but we didn't do it in the area of the face where it's kind of like healthy in front of the face and youthful, because I wanted it to be still sophisticated. So we just placed it sort of high on the top of the cheekbone and then just fused it in very softly, really nice and delicately. Again, really nice. And the wonderful thing about these is they do last as cream blushes, which is nice. Sacred, that's a nice name, isn't it? Okay, and I'm really scared about this foundation on my hand, so just with the white shirt and what I mentioned earlier, so let me just take that off. I can come back to use it later. So we did two looks, so I'll do just very quickly, I'll just pop a little bit of my brow on here, just to kind of shape the eye before I do it, just to sort of show you the two different looks and how we kind of went from one to the other. Again, with the brow, I actually used a Schwarzkopf hairspray to really set them in place, because she's got quite long eyebrows, so I need to kind of get them or keep them under control. It's the bright yellow one, I can't remember the name of it. It's got a great spray can on it. effect. You spray it like that rather than on top. Anyway, I digress. Right, so because she had this beautiful Schiaparelli dress and it had this lovely kind of silk net with very fine sparkles, I wanted to use the cream eyeshadow in 01. There's about 4 or 5 shades of these, and this is just beautiful. It looked lovely on the photographs, and it's just such a nice shade because, as you can see, it's slightly oyster pink. And the great thing is that when you place it on the eye, you've got a moment before it sets, but it acts as a really, really good base for keeping the makeup on for a little bit longer. So I took it just halfway, and then that just gave me a little bit of space to blend. It's not overdoing it. And then just took it right just across the front, because you just really want all the makeup to kind of dissolve into each other so that it just almost isn't apparent where the makeup is. But that's so lovely against white. That's why I wore white, because if you ever are having your makeup done and you're getting married, for instance, you actually want to make sure that you're wearing the colour that you are getting married in. Does that make sense? If I made myself, yeah, because if you wear black, the makeup looks much softer. This is palette number 1, and we use these really lovely rosy colours. So I'm going to go straight in with the darker colour, and I just put that on the outside of the eye and just very delicately underneath, and then fused it in with the then peachy colour, going in with the peachy colour to fuse these together, and it looks so nice. Very simple, not technical, just a really nice wash of colour. And with the mascara, it just looked so nice and just really built it out on the outside. So what I would do then is just to use the same colour, but then just really push it into the root, so that it gets a little bit darker, and then it just goes to nothing with the blend. Oops-a-daisy. And I love these shades. Again, just so nice. I don't really like a lot of warm golds and browns necessarily. I mean, obviously it depends on who you're making up, right? Dark and olive skin suit those, but it's quite nice to kind of keep the wedding shades sort of fresh. So if you want to, you can do it the opposite way around like I'm doing now, and just push it into the eye on the outer corner and then just blend it through. Again, just to avoid the product falling down like it did, just press first and then blend. Push it into the eye area. And then clean brush, blend that through. And then take the nice peachy shade, like the transitional colour, place it over the top and just fuse those together. Lovely. So pretty. And take the tip of the brush, and again, this is a really soft brush. It's not too dense because I want to create that softness. And I'm not going to use any more highlighter at the front there. It was just that to really sort of throw the eyes forward and just to run that back into the socket. Obviously we don't look the same, but this just gives you a gist, an idea. Maybe just put a little bit more peach just to soften that together. Lovely. So you have an option for weddings, whether you want to go for tubing mascara or you want to go for waterproof mascara. Maybe you've had some lashes popped in and you can't do anything and you just use your beautiful lashes. I think if you are having lash extensions put in for your day, make sure that you get them as close as you can to the wedding, because otherwise they can go a little bit wayward if you're not that careful with them. We actually used Divine Lashes by Max Factor over the Beauty Pie one, actually, just because this brush is really, really soft and it makes the eyes, sorry, it makes the lashes really, really soft. What I mean by that is that it's just quite delicate. I didn't really want it to be a mascara-y type of look, which normally Pixie really likes. She's got a real kind of like classic 60s vibe about her. But this, I just wanted to be really soft, and I'm annoyed now because I should have curled my eyelashes. I'm not going to do that now, which is really annoying. Imagine if I'd curled my eyelashes, I would have got a little bit more of a lift, which I always do with a waterproof mascara because you don't get that payoff as you do with a stronger mascara, and I prefer, or a non-waterproof mascara, so I prefer that look. Anyway, we'll lift them up in a second. But do remember that if you're fortunate like me that you can get a decent amount of lift without lash curling, and I can be a bit lazy about that by not doing it because I know I can do it with the mascara. It's one less beauty thing to do. With waterproof mascara and a lot of tubing mascara, it's always nice to curl the lashes first. Now, that's it. Place those lashes down, 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 and just really, really extend them. I hope I've got my white eyeliner here as well. I might have to pop and go and get that because I think that's in the other room. Such a mascara face, isn't it? I mean, I don't even do anything to my eyes. What's your mascara face? I bet you're trying it now, right? You are. I know you are. I don't know why we do that. Now I really want to, oh God, whatever. Let's just get this mascara on. Lovely. There we are. Bit of lift. That one's gone on perfectly. I'm just going to lift my lid and just soften that mascara a bit there. Okay. Now what's also a nice little trick to do is to take a liquid eyeliner, but really, really tightly, and then you just paint in between the lashes. It's not even a line. Very, very delicately. Really pull up the skin, even if you don't have baggy eyes like mine, and just place the ink in between the lashes and then lay it on the side there. And that just gives you a little bit more, so the lashes are still wet, definition. See, it's all very, very subtle. It really helps. Oh, no. There we go. Yeah, you booked me to do your wedding makeup, wouldn't you? Gee whiz, just made that all perfect, and now I've made a right old blob. Okay, we'll have to fix that. What I was saying is that just that little bit of extra definition looks lovely in photographs. It just frames the top of your eye just a little bit more. Let me find my brush and refix that. That's rather shabby as it is. Nice and soft, there we go. Okay, I tell you what, I have to be honest with you, it's so much easier for me to do makeup on other people than it is myself. I mean, it's a bit strange to say this, but most of the time I just can't be bothered. I can be bothered because I am a makeup wearer, but to kind of go into this much detail, I absolutely love it on other people. But too much of oneself is just too much, isn't it? Sometimes. Right, okay, so happy with that. So that was the eye for the day. And then for the lip, let me just take a little bit of the concealer and just rub that over my lips, just because that's a slightly heavier formula. Just buff that in. And the lipsticks, oh my God, these lipsticks, look. I'll just put the lid on that one because that's the one I'm going to use later. Look at these. I mean, what a beautiful gift, right? What a lovely, lovely lipstick. It is soft and it's velvety. The pink ones are slightly sheerer and the red ones are slightly deeper. So it depends on kind of what effect you are going for. So we went a little bit more rosy for the wedding itself. I'll show you. And it's creamy. It's so light. not really sure I need a lip line. We did on the day. Let me just take this one. Let me just take the lip cheat. I mean, I think because my lips are my kind of annoying part of me, that's where I would spend money. If people say, what do you spend money on? I just think expensive lipsticks make the difference. For something like this, like the natural ones, not so much, but this to me looks so decadent. Lovely. So we had a little bit of powder. Let me tell you, Tatcha. Oh, this is a lovely brand, which I will go into in the autumn time. I'm going to do a few more films, and then I'm going to take a little bit of time off in July and August, because we're going to go travelling a bit to see my friend who moved to Thailand, which is so exciting with all of my children. So it's a bit of a trip of a lifetime. So I'll be fresh back in September. There's a couple more films coming out, but I will do this back in September because I actually thought Tatcha was an old skincare brand, and it's not actually. And the story behind it is quite lovely. Anyway, these are blotting papers, and I really like these rice blotting papers, and they were perfect for touching up just any sort of dew that wasn't looking particularly pretty on camera. So yes, I had these as well, which were wonderful. So I'd powder down the T-zone area. So yes, I'm going to use the Shiseido loose powder, and go in with the same brush and just dance it over those areas that we don't want to shine and that we want the makeup to last a bit longer. But it really is quite delicate. So nice. Great. So then we had a beautiful ceremony. We had lots of eating and speeches, and then we did something a little bit different. Pixie's hair went down and we kind of elevated the makeup slightly. We went in with a little bit more of a contour. Still loving this Rare Beauty contour, and just kind of sort of made the look a little bit more sexy, just a little bit more sassy, but still soft. And just blend that into the sides of the face to make sure that you don't come down any further than the front of your pupil when you're popping it in. And because you're working with cream on cream, there's no powder there, and the foundation is just lovely, it just really works well together, and it just kind of makes it a little bit more sculpted for the evening. Just blend that in. And then you might want to add a little bit more blush. If you want a dewy foundation with coverage, then this is my recommendation. It looked so beautiful throughout the day as well. Okay, great. Now I'll take the lip off, sadly, because I actually really love this colour. And it's Nude Rose number 12. I know I'm rubbish at showing colours. So we took that off, went back in with a little bit of, and this took like 5 minutes, by the way, because obviously, please don't spend loads of time redoing a second look. It was very, very quick. So we took that off, neutralised the lip again so you could get the true colour of the lipstick, which I think is really important. So many people get that confused. Well, not confused, but just they don't consider the pink of their lip, and then they look at the lipstick and go, why doesn't it look like that? Now I'm using the same brush, and I just beat down the rosy colour, and I took a cotton bud and I went in for these beautiful muted colours, sort of slightly metallic. Oh, I tell you what I didn't do, but I can still do it. I went in with my trusty Max Factor Cajole liner on the waterline, and again, for a bright-eyed look for a bride or a guest, especially if you celebrated the night before, which I just think would be dreadful if you felt awful for a wedding, but I know people love to do that. Then I just pop that in the eye, see? Just a tiny little pop. Just don't get it on the eyelashes and the roots, because it looks like you've got grey eyelashes. So let's go in with the pewtery shade. And again, I took that right underneath the lower lashes, brought it forward, not all the way, and then took it into the socket just to open out the eye. So sort of different application, just for that smokiness, but still keeping the eye open, but not closing it and not looking too dressed up, you know, too made up. But just having that darkness push back in the socket there, and then go in with a very, very dark shade in this corner. It's like a chocolate brown, it's not a very, very dark shade. And just put that on the outer corner. So you're not really following it through, you're just rolling it around. And so the colour graduates, yeah? And then soften. Do love a cotton bud. So you just get that nice shape of the eye and it throws forward. But it still looks sexy and sassy, but it's still very much you. Okay, so moving on to lips. And because the eye was slightly darker, we went for much more of a milky, nudie lip. So we used number 10, Deep Velvet Beige Nude. So much softer, much more milky, but a little bit too pale and a little bit too flat for this particular look. So what I did was take the liquid balm again. Can we just have a moment for this packaging? Oh, it's so, oh dear, not that nail. I am so sorry. That's a very badly smudged nail. I'm not showing you beauty at its best, am I? This is wedding makeup and a reality check. Anyway, this is beautiful. Or maybe another point on that I should add is that there is also another product, a lip product that I had in my handbag, which again, just killer. I mean, look at these two together. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this just gives me very joyful vibes. And this is the Rose Balm, so I just put a little bit of that on Pixie's lip if she needed it. But a good thing for a bridesmaid to keep in the bag. Anyway, this texture is so nice. This one and the Rare Beauty one I filmed a couple of weeks ago. Oh, it's so nice. I don't like oils on my lips, I've decided. I've had enough of oils. They don't hold onto my lip and it's not flattering for my lip shape, but these, oh, are so nice. And there we are. There is 2 wedding looks for one film. So many things that you can do for weddings, but I just think the most important thing is just to kind of keep it as soft and as timeless as possible and a little bit of your style added in. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the film. I hope you liked the look and look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, everyone. Thanks for all the love. Bye.